Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about Mars as it changes into the sign Aquarius. Now, the reason why I really make it a point to focus on a video on Mars is the trigger point. It really does indicate when major things are happening in the world. It's like you can have all these long-range aspects that happen and stay in aspect for, sometimes a month. But Mars comes along and triggers it and causes the event to happen. So it's imperative to watch where the energy is in the sky dealing with Mars. Mars is a trigger. So before I get going and talk about Mars, I want to remind everyone to sign up for my free newsletter. Just do it. You'll be happy you did because you'll get all of my predictions delivered to your email address free. So go to galacticcenter.org, and while you're there, remember I have a Patreon page. Become part of our community of light seekers, of spiritual seekers, of those who want to change their lives for the better. Because with that, you'll get the Shooting Stars class. You'll get Ask Your Astrologer, so you get an hour with me to ask me questions. And we really have a great community with going back and forth with emails and exclusive information that you can't get anywhere else. As a matter of fact, you would have gotten my predictions for the Super Bowl before it happened. Yes, I predicted Kansas City. So just so that you know, that's the kind of thing that you won't get on my YouTube, but you will in Patreon. And remember, if you want to study with me, go to universityofvedicastrology.com and become my student. So when does Mars go into Aquarius? March 15th. And it will stay in Aquarius till April 23rd. So then after Aquarius, it goes into Pisces after April 23rd. But let's focus in on what it's doing in the sign of Aquarius. Now, this is intense. Why? Because Mars is going to conjunct Saturn. And I find that to be one of the most difficult conjunctions there is. So I do find people that have that conjunction in their birth chart are so determined. They never give up. They're persistent, they're diligent, they're focused, disciplined, but they never give up. It actually breeds success because people with this conjunction don't give up. And one of the times they're going to make it, no matter how many times they get knocked down. But if you consider Mars as the planet of energy and wants to move really fast, and Saturn is the energy that wants to go very slow, coming to a halt or a stop, it's been said that Mars-Saturn conjunctions are like going down the street with one foot on the accelerator and one on the gas. So guess what? You get stalled, you get setbacks, delays, problems. Mars and Saturn do not like one another. They're definitely opposite energies. And they're both malefic on top of that. Mars is anger, war, hostility, but of course on the light side, it's energy, it's sports, it's willpower, it's drive, it's ambition. I love that about Mars. And really what I've always been known to say, especially to all my students, Mars rules willpower and courage. Now, if you don't have willpower, you can't get anything done. It is imperative to have a strong Mars to be successful, right? So Mars is vitally important. Mars rules blood. It's red. It gives us our life force, our energy. So it's important. But many times it rules anger, confrontation, arguments, war. And when people do have major accidents in their life, 9 times out of 10, it's a Mars that is aspecting something that causes the accident. Because Mars is impulsive and impatient. And that's what causes accidents. So put them together, Mars and Saturn. On April 10th, Mars is going to conjunct Saturn at 20 degrees of Aquarius. And on the day that they conjunct, Mars will move out of the nakshatra Dhanishta. Because actually, from March 15th, before March 15th, and all the way till April 10th, so March 15th to April 10th, Mars is in the nakshatra called Dhanishta. And what's interesting about that nakshatra is it's ruled by Mars. So Mars, while it is here in Aquarius, but in the nakshatra Dhanishta, makes it very, very powerful. And I believe it makes it very violent because it's too much Mars energy. So you're going to see violence, you're going to see upsets, you're going to see people overreacting. And then it comes together with Saturn. There's a dead halt to things that happens around. Now, it doesn't have to happen just on April 10th, but that's when they're exact. It can happen as it's applying and getting close to Saturn. It can happen right after, around this time. So it's in April, let me just say, that Mars and Saturn conjunct. So let's talk about the nakshatras that Mars is in while it's in Aquarius. So when it comes into Aquarius, which will be March 15th, it's in the nakshatra Dhanishta. Dhanishta is ruled by Mars. So it is very, very strong, and it can be quite dangerous and violent. So it's going to be in Dhanishta till March 23rd. So it's in Dhanishta as it comes into Aquarius, but by March 20th, it stays in Dhanishta, this powerful, angry nakshatra, till March 23rd. And then by March 23rd, Mars will go into Shatabhishak, which is where Saturn has been for so long. This nakshatra is called the Sky Watcher and the 100 Healers. And you've heard me talk about this because it isn't an easy nakshatra at all because it is ruled by Rahu. But it is intense with healing, people getting into healing. And it also means that there's a need for healing because that nakshatra can deal with hard to cure diseases. Mars in there will bring things up to the surface about disease and healing and the need to get healthy, even mentally healthy. And Shatabhishak rules the Sky Watcher. So there will be instances and things about alien life that comes to being, and it rules astrology. So people are going to have a much deeper interest with astrology. So when it changes into Shatabhishak, March 23rd, it will be in that nakshatra till April 10th. And then April 10th, this is important because Mars will conjunct Saturn. And they're going to conjoin at 20 degrees of Aquarius. Now, this is important because they both are together in this nakshatra. That nakshatra begins at 20 degrees. And this is important. So around 20 degrees of Aquarius, that's where they come together. And this nakshatra deals with a man with two faces. And what this could mean, well, that somebody's pretending to be someone they're not. Now, this can actually affect you personally, but I think this is more on a global level. Maybe someone who's coming into politics has the face of someone that they present to the world, but that is not the reality and the truth. Watch and see who comes into the political reign at this time. This is important. Now, Mars and Saturn are very violent together. They dislike each other. They represent dysfunction. They represent anger. Frustration is a good word, because Saturn wants to bring things to an end and Mars wants to go 100 miles an hour. Mars is impulsive, impatient, and Saturn is dead serious about stopping things. So we have got a major conflict with Mars coming together with Saturn mid-April. Remember, this is powerful. Mars with Saturn in Aquarius. Now, another thing I want to say about Aquarius is that Aquarius is the sign of humanity. But putting these two first-rate malefics together destroys things that try to bring people together in humanity. We're looking at some serious changes in the month of April with this conjunction and Mars in Aquarius. It's going to disrupt things seriously, politically, emotionally. Wait and see the man that appears with two faces. We'll see. This is an interesting shift. So as I say, Mars is the big trigger of events. Mars, once again, what does Mars rule? It can rule violence. It can rule danger, accidents, anger, explosions. It rules fire. It rules weapons, it rules knives and guns, and it rules war, period. This is a warlike nature coming head on with Saturn, and Saturn is the opposite. Saturn is ending. Saturn is serious. Saturn deals with depression. So bring it on. Things are about to explode with this confrontation of Mars and Aquarius conjunct Saturn. So with that, I think I've warned you, and we'll see what's going to happen. We can see clearly what's happening with astrology. Isn't that the beauty of it all? So with that, I think I'll close. Remember, if you need more information on me, go to my website, galacticcenter.org. Sign up for a reading, become part of our Patreon and my free newsletter. And if you'd like to study with me, go to universityofvedicastrology.com. Thank you.